What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gormy, and this is episode 2 of Project Ottawa. Before we get into the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Please let me know if you guys want to see any movement or whatnot with the team. Let me know if you want to see any certain line combinations and whatnot. Leave everything down below in the comments. I'll also be linking my Twitch down below, as well as my Instagram and Twitter in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so in the last video, we left off looking at the lineup. Colin White has gone up to an 83. He started at an 81. Some solid growth. Vermitten's gone up by 1. I believe Anisimov's gone up by 1 as well. So is Josh Norris. Now, the big question right now is what to do at Rudolph Balcers. I think once Nick Paul comes back, we will be leaving him as a scratch and running with Nick Paul, Josh Norris, and Marcus Sorensen, just because Austin Watson and Rudolph Balcers really aren't doing a whole lot for us on the fourth line. And I think by having Nick Paul, Josh Norris, and Marcus Sorensen, it'll be a much better fourth line for us. Our third line is doing pretty well right now. Our second line is killing it, as is our first. Now, the trade deadline will be coming up this video, so depending on how we are doing, I may move Evgeny Dadonov no matter what, just because of his value right now, which is pretty damn solid. I hope that at some point we'll be able to have Brady Tkachuk, Alex Vermitten, and then Tim Stützle as our top line. And, I mean, if we have to move out Colin White, we will do so. But, I mean, right now, Evgeny Dadonov really is the only player that I am looking to move out, besides Nikita Zaitsev on defense. But, I mean, they're both having solid years, so if we don't have to move them out, we won't move them out. But if there are some offers that we could make happen that would really help us out for our future and now, then I will do it for sure. But, I mean, Thomas Chabot, he's gone up by 1. Brandstrom's gone up by 1. I think even Branson's gone up by 1, and he's 29, so that's pretty solid. But, I mean, the team's pretty... they're playing pretty well all the way around. I'm really enjoying what we have with this team so far. I hope you guys are too. I mean, Mike Hoffman with 40 points in 45 games, very solid. Plus, we are first in the Atlantic Division, tied for first in the Eastern Conference between us and the Devils. The Devils have 58 points. We have 58 points as well. I mean, the top 5 for the Atlantic, I mean, it's kind of surprising a little bit. Just, I mean, having the Red Wings up there and not the Lightning is very surprising, as Lightning are in 7th with 43 points, but the Red Wings only have 48, so the Lightning could definitely catch them. But, I mean, the Leafs, Panthers, Bruins, I expect all of them to be up there. And then Metro-wise, I mean, same thing there. The Capitals are in 7th, so maybe we should have made a deal with them for their first rounder instead of Nashville, because I mean, Nashville, they're in first place in the Central, but they can definitely be caught. I mean, the Stars can catch them, the Avs can catch them, the Wild, the Blackhawks, all those teams can catch them. I hope that they do. And I mean, that if they do get caught, the Pacific is in a position where they could have 5 teams in the playoffs, and then the Central have 3. But that would have to be a major just all-out war for points in the West. Which, I mean, right now we definitely need the Predators to just totally tank so that we can have a higher first-round pick. But I do not mind having 2 later first-round picks, because we still get 2 first-round talents. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just that having a earlier first rounder and a later first rounder would be much more ideal. All right, getting into the sim this episode, our first 5 games, we got San Jose, Colorado, Carolina, St. Louis, and the Yotes. So let's see how we do in these 5. Also, I believe it's either our break is coming up or it's the All-Star break. It's one of the two. Usually the All-Star break is in February, but I guess it might be in January in this one. But Nick Paul is now available, so I will put him in the lineup, and I will be right back. All right, so with Nick Paul in the lineup, we get a +1 on that fourth line, so it's definitely going to be better having him down there. As we get a win against San Jose, we lose 6-4 though to Colorado. Lose 4-1 to Carolina, 5-1 win over St. Louis, and a 3-2 win over the Yotes. So I will take that. 3-2. I'll definitely take. Our next 5, we've got Pittsburgh, Detroit, Toronto, Anaheim, and Winnipeg. So, I mean, out of these 5, Detroit should be the easiest game, but we have struggled against them so far this year. But hopefully we can get a win against them here. That'd be nice. There we go, a 5-3 win against them, as we also won 4-1 against Pittsburgh. We get a 3-1 loss against Toronto, though. A 4-2 loss against Anaheim. Jonathan Davidson, head coach, replace. And then we shut out Winnipeg. So, I mean, that's a good, solid rebound for us right there. Trade deadline is here, February 25th. So we have got, it looks like 7 games before then. Yeah. We've got 7 games before the trade deadline. So we have 7 games to figure out what we want to do. Taking a quick look at stats for the team this season. Mike Hoffman leads the team as he was a little bit ago. He has 49 and 55. Now Dadonov has 46 and 55. He's leading the first line points-wise. But I think if we were to move Dadonov out, bring in some prospects or a player that can jump right in, replace his position, but is way younger, or some draft picks, that would be great, because if it, say we bring in someone who replaces him right away, we don't got to worry about line changes. Now, if we do bring in prospects or picks, then we would move Hoffman up to line 1, we would move Duclair up to line 2, and then we would have to figure out, okay, do we put Nick Paul on line 3? Do we put Rudolph Balcers on line 3? Do we bring someone up from the AHL? All that will come to fruition at the trade deadline if we make a move. I am going to check the trade value here real quick, so you guys will see what we can get for certain players. And if it is over the moon for Dadonov right now, I will most likely be moving him. All right, so looking at the trade value overall with the team, I mean, Evgeny Dadonov's trade value isn't over the moon. We can definitely get something solid for him, but it's not like we're going to be able to get a first-round pick. We might be able to get a second-rounder and a third, so I'm definitely not going to be moving him for picks if we move him. Maybe for a prospect or two, or maybe for a very good prospect. But, I mean, as of right now, I'm really not all too convinced on moving him. But we will see what is available come trade deadline day. As you guys know, if you are big into franchise, there's a whole new system for the trade deadline. So it'll be very entertaining to see what happens on trade deadline day. But, I mean, as of right now, I would have to really look around and see what we could do move-wise to where moving Dadonov would be worth it. So back to the sim, our next 5 are Carolina, Detroit once again, Winnipeg again, Chicago, New Jersey, and Columbus. Actually, my bad, just up to that New Jersey game, not the Columbus, that would be 6. But through 7, you include that Columbus and the Calgary game, and then we're at the trade deadline. So let's simulate these next 5 against Carolina, Detroit, trade, no. So let's trade. Oh my God. Let's simulate these 5. See how we do. Just continue. Let's see how we do through these next 5 with Carolina, Detroit, Winnipeg, Chicago, New Jersey. Hopefully we do solid. 3-1 loss against Carolina and Chicago. A 5-3 win over Detroit and a 3-2 win over Winnipeg. I'm concerned about our lack of scoring. I'm not. Why? It's not an issue. We're doing fine. Yeah, we get beat 3-1 sometimes, but that happens with this team. Like, so he basically wants me to screw what we're doing and bring in someone that will completely mess everything up. Wesley, no. I do not care that happened. All right. So, 3-1 loss, 5-3 win, 3-2 win, 3-1 loss, 3-2 loss. I guess our coach wants us scoring 10 goals a game. Four 3 win over Columbus. Will be... I'm keeping us at a conservative seller, for sure. After trade deadline, it looked like we lost that game to Calgary. Alrighty. Jonathan Toews is on the trade block. We got Flower, Barzal, Couture, Evander Kane, Jalmerson, Dubnyk, Vlasic, Ranta, Getzlaf. So a lot of vets. I don't really see anybody young worth making a move for besides Ethan Bear. I saw, okay, all right, another trade alert. New Jersey trades round 2 and Shakir Mukhamadullin in a 5th to the Ducks for Kevin Shattenkirk. Bruh. Wow. That is a horrible trade. New Jersey, what are you doing? You build for the future, man. So, I mean, Merzlikins, Bear, done. Stop. Now Noah Julesen's getting traded. That's more future for Cam Atkinson. Seriously, man? Merzlikins, Bear, done. I follow. There really aren't too many players that interest me. Oliver Shillington now. That would be solid. Rangers make a deal. The Blackhawks. So are they go? Is he? Where is he going? All right, he's going to New York. All right. I can't believe that New Jersey traded Shakir Mukhamadullin. Absolutely cannot. Antti Ranta's going to Buffalo. Okay. Let's see what Dadonov can fetch us. A 1st and a 4th from Carolina, a 1st and a 7th from Florida, and a 1st and a 3rd from Philly. What other offers are there? All right, now there's 24 offers. Okay. A 1st and a 4th and Jeff Skinner from Buffalo. Dylan Cousins, a 4th and Jeff Skinner. A 1st, a 4th, and Kalinin. 2 seconds from Dallas. Harley, a 2nd and a 3rd. Qdobin, a 2nd and a 3rd. Antonio Stranges for a 2nd and a 3rd. Ty Dellandrea, a 2nd and a 3rd. 1st and a 4th. Spencer Knight, a 4th and a 5th. Oh my. New Jersey's 1st rounder. I can't pronounce that name. Akatiuk and a 7th. Ty Smith, my boy, a 3rd and a 4th. Ryan Walsh, a 3rd and a 4th. Zach Jones, a 3rd and a 3rd. Robertson, a 3rd and a 3rd. Keandre Miller, a 3rd and a 3rd. Braden Schneider, a 3rd and a 3rd. A 1st and a 3rd in Sushko. McLennan, a 2nd and a 3rd. Rubstov, a 2nd and a 3rd. Ratcliffe, a 2nd and a 3rd. Frost, a 2nd and a 3rd. Flower, nope. And then a 1st and 3rd in Lowry. So there are definitely some interesting trade offers that we have here with Dadonov. It's just are they 100% worth it? Because the Dylan Cousins trade really, really entices me. It's just, I don't know if they're having to offer Skinner because of Dadonov's $5 million in salary. Maybe we could try and get somebody else. But honestly, it's Dylan Cousins. It's a center. He would be our second line center. And then we would already be able to figure out how we build a line around him. Which, I mean, because our first line for the future is definitely Brady Tkachuk, Alex Fermenton, and Tim Stützle. Our second line could then be Dylan Cousins with who else? Batherson and Perlini if he works out. Maybe. Or somebody that we draft. Like, let me take a look at this more in depth. I'll be right back. Alright, so come to find out, I could not do that deal no matter what because Skinner will not show up on the roster. And it was not allowing me to do the trade, so we are not going to be able to get Dylan Cousins as of this moment. I could try and figure out a way to get him because, I mean, honestly, that is a very, very solid option for a second liner center-wise for us because, I mean, he's a big guy. And if we have him down the middle, that's going to be perfect. Because, I mean, if we can have him, Drake Batherson, and somebody else, like, that is a very, very solid second line for us for the future. All right, so really there wasn't much I could do here at the trade deadline. I didn't really see any deals for Nikita Zaitsev or for Evgeny Dadonov that really, really intrigued me to make a massive move. So I think that we're going to ride with this team until the end of the season, see what we do. If we make the playoffs, phenomenal. We're in a position to do so as of right now. And if we make playoffs year one with this team, that is massive. That gets these players some playoff experience, these younger ones especially. So hopefully we make the playoffs, and hopefully riding with this team for the rest of the season really, really works out in our favor. Trade alert wise, there really hasn't been many big trades except for Timothy Liljegren has been traded from Toronto to LA, so that's a big move for LA. And then the New York Rangers traded a first rounder and a third, I believe, for Evander Kane. So that is a big, big player coming to the East that could really, really help them make a push in the playoffs. So if we make the playoffs and if we play the Rangers in the playoffs, it will be absolutely massive. All right, so as you guys saw there at the end of what I was just saying, Vegas tried to get Galchenyuk. I declined the trade. I really don't want to move him right now. So, I mean, like I said, I want to run with this team. I want to see what we do. And after this Caps game, the Edmonton game, and the Lightning game, I believe we will only have about 18 games left, I believe, if I'm doing the math right. Right now we have 20 games left. Yeah. Or no, we would have 17 games left. Yeah. So let's get up to this Florida game and get the rest of the season over with and see what we can do. So we get a shootout loss against the Caps, a 3-2 win over Edmonton, and a 4-2 win over Tampa Bay. If we could keep on beating Tampa Bay, that is going to be absolutely amazing for us. And I mean, right now, 39-23-3, we are making the playoffs in year one of Project Ottawa. That is absolutely unreal. All right, our next five: Florida, the Isles once again, the Bruins, and the Flyers. Get a 4-2 loss against Florida, beat the Isles 6-2. We get a 3-2 loss against the Isles, beat Boston in a 2-1 shootout win, and then get shut out by Philly. So right now we're kind of up and down. We need to get consistent here towards the end of the season. We need a good run going into the playoffs. Our next five here, we've got St. Louis, we've got Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. So hopefully we can get 3 out of these 5. Eric Branson's injured. Mike Riley's coming in. Come on, big fella. Oof. Bad, bad, bad right now. All right, Eric Goodbranson's back already, so that's good. We were on a 3-game losing streak, getting outscored by a lot, but then we rebound against Vancouver, get a shootout loss against Calgary, and then lose in regulation to Edmonton. So right now we are losing games when we cannot lose games. I mean, it might help us playoff-wise for rankings and seeding, but we want to win as many games as possible right now. And Christian Jaros with an injury now. Holy crap. We cannot catch a break from injuries this first season, man. Alright, back to the sim. Alright, we're getting points here now. Let's beat Tampa. That's like the one time we lost to Tampa this year. Wow, okay. Well, can we finish with 47 wins? That would be great. Can we get 47 wins? Beat Buffalo, beat Columbus. And we're not getting 47. We might get 46, though. Let's get Christian Jaros back in the lineup. Do we beat Columbus? We do. We end the season on a 4-0 shutout. That is what we love. That is what we love. So our first season with Project Ottawa, we have finished with 97 points and second in the Atlantic. And doing that in the Atlantic with this team is very, very hard to do. I am very, very happy that we had that finish. That is absolutely phenomenal. The Bruins finished above us with 102 points. We finished 4 points clear of the Maple Leafs. We're clear of the Panthers. The Lightning missed the playoffs the year after winning the Cup. The Sabres miss it. They were a point behind the Lightning. The Canadiens miss it. And then the Red Wings totally whiffed this season. Weren't even close. Now on the Metro, we've got the Flyers winning the Metro. They had 104 points. The Hurricanes with 102. Penguins with 99. The Devils with 96. The Caps missed the playoffs. The Rangers missed the playoffs. The Blue Jackets miss them, as do the Islanders, which I think them not signing Barzal, which I don't understand why they wouldn't. Them not signing Barzal really hurt their chances this season. Over in the Pacific, we've got the Golden Knights winning the Pacific. The Oilers coming in second. The Yotes in third. Sharks in fourth. The Ducks, Canucks, Flames, and Kings all missing the playoffs. The Kings were nowhere near making the playoffs with 62 points. That trade for Timothy Liljegren will definitely help them out, though, in the future. So, I mean, maybe there is a bright future there with the Kings. Hopefully, I mean, for their sake, hopefully they start doing better. And the Central, the Wild won the Central, followed by the Avs. The Preds hold on to make the playoffs with 98 points. The Stars at 90. Then the Blackhawks, Blues, and Jets all miss. So the bottom 4 teams in the league are the Kings, the Jets, the Red Wings, and the Islanders. Somehow the Kings did better than the Islanders. Alrighty. That's kind of impressive. Like, in a bad way. Looking at points this season, we've got Mike Hoffman with 66 points. Evgeny Dadonov with 61, so just a few points shy of tying Mike Hoffman for the point leader this season. Alex Galchenyuk with 57. Colin White with 55. Brady Tkachuk with 53. Anthony Duclair with 45. And now Duclair, Tkachuk, Dadonov, and Hoffman all 20-plus goal scorers. And Hoffman was a goal away from 30, so that is very, very nice. We've got Fermenton with 42 points his rookie season. Very solid. He got up to 80 overall. So let's see what he can do in the playoffs for us, because if we can have a deep to deep-ish run, I think that he may go up another overall. And for next year, if he can go to 83, that'll be absolutely phenomenal for us. Thomas Chabot with 38. Artem Anisimov with 37. I'm kind of impressed with those numbers from him. Connor Brown with 30. Zaitsev with 24. Brandstrom with 22. I definitely want him to bump those numbers up in the future, being that we definitely want him to be the offensive powerhouse we need him to be, as he only had 6 points on the power play, and he usually is just an absolute quarterback on those power plays. So maybe we need to play him with some different players or try and get a +5 on the power play. So maybe we need a coaching change for that to happen, or once again, find different players to play him with to get that +5 to really help him on the power play and get his growth going. Zdeno Chara with 22 points, Nick Paul with 19, Josh Norris with 16, Sorensen with 16, Goodbranson with 15, Jaros with 13, Watson with 5, Riley with 0, and Balsers with 0. And that Balsers one really bothers me. So next year, he is definitely going to be playing in the AHL. Looking at our attendees now, we've got a 38-win season from Matt Murray in his first season with Ottawa. He had 6 shutouts, 4 overtime losses, a .920 save percentage, very solid. Now that goals against average, we can get that down next year to more around a 2, going towards like a 1.8. That will be incredible. I mean, we definitely need to make some upgrades on defense for that to happen, and the team needs to play better defensively as a whole. But if we can get that to go down, even just maybe by 0.20, I'd be happy with that next year. And Anders Nilsson did his job as a backup. I mean, he technically went 500 with an 8-7-1 record, but he did have to come in for quite a few games. Hopefully next year he has a better season though, record-wise, but I mean his stats were pretty solid once again. It's just I feel when he went in, he got peppered. So once again, upgrades on D definitely need to be made. Looking at the rookie race for the NHL, Kirill Kaprizov is definitely going to be Rookie of the Year, but our boy Alex Fermenton finished in 3rd with his 42 points. Lafreniere was ahead of him. I mean, Lafreniere's plus-minus is absolutely abysmal, so maybe Fermenton has a better chance at finishing 2nd in that race, especially being on a team such as Ottawa that really a lot of people probably didn't expect to be in the playoffs. And we made the playoffs, and he was honestly a decent part of the reason why we did. So I just had a quick look at our AHL squad, and we definitely need to bolster that squad for next season if we want them to have a huge growth year. Now, Chlapik, Perlini, and Batherson all had solid years. They're all at 80 or 80 plus. But we definitely need to kind of bolster that AHL squad so that they can compete next year because they missed out on playoffs. And we definitely want Jake Sanderson and Bernard Docker to grow the best that they can. So next year we're definitely going to focus, or at least have a focus, on improving the AHL squad just to where they can make the playoffs and have a decent run and go at it. But as of right now, the main focus for next year, improving our D-core. And if we do so with this forward core that we have now, I think that we'll be even better next year if we can improve our D-core from where it is right now. Now, before we go, we have something to take care of. That is a contract extension for Brady Tkachuk. Now, his contract is up this year. He wants an extension. He's an RFA. And honestly, he's going to be our captain next season. Right now, we have been rocking with 3 assistants. And he is going to have the C next year. He is going to be here for the long haul. So I think offering him a 7 to 8 year contract would be ideal. So let's see what he wants for a 7 to 8 year contract. Honestly, for 7 to 8 years, I was expecting a whole lot more that he would want. And right now, a 7 to 8 year contract for him, wow. That is a bargain, honestly. So I think signing him till he is, until he's 28 years old, that will be ideal. I even think maybe he would sign, I think he might sign for 5.85 or 5.8. We'll try for 5.8. I mean, let me do the math real quick. All right, so to be safe, to make sure that he accepts this 7-year deal, minimum I believe we can offer him is $6 million, just because if we were to take more than $450K off, I'm not sure he would accept like a 7-year duration. So definitely, I think $6 million at 7 years will definitely get him to sign with us. And I mean, that is our captain and star player for 7 years at $6 million. So Toronto, you didn't actually have to pay everybody $11 million. Maybe all you had to do was pay him 6 at the right time. Now, another player that we have to give an extension to that I want to come back is Alex Galchenyuk. He is 27 years old, so probably just on a 2-year deal. Let's see what we can offer him to come back. So he wants 4.275 for 3 years. I only want him for 2 years. Maybe we can get him for 3.8. I think if we offer him that, he might take it. And if we do, that's going to be phenomenal because honestly, he had a very solid year. It's not like insane numbers, but for what we needed, he produced. He actually came out of his shell and produced for us, which is great. It's not to where like, oh, this kid's our all-star now. It's, all right, this guy is definitely a top 6 contributor for us, and we need him back for at least another 2 years. So I'm going to offer him this 3.8 2-year extension. Hopefully he will accept. So as you guys can see, we got to re-sign Drake Batherson, Perlini, and Chlapik as well. I'm going to make them offers now instead of at the end of the season. So let's see if all of them will sign either very cheap one-way contracts or some two-way contracts. So our first player we're going to be re-signing is Philip Chlapik. He will sign 2 years at a .925. He'll still be an RFA at the end of it. So, I mean, if we do not have room for him at that time, we can move him and he'll still hold his value, which will be very nice. So I'm going to go ahead, offer him this extension. Hopefully he accepts it. Our next player I'm offering an extension to is Drake Batherson. He's going to replace Artem Anisimov this upcoming season. He could be our third-line center. Now, he does not have the greatest face-off stats. So if we find another player that we can put on our third line center-wise, we could just move him out to the wing because he can play right wing as well. And I think 3 years at 22 years old, he'll be an RFA at the end of the contract. 1.35, very solid for what he will bring to the table. Going to go ahead and offer him this. Hopefully he resigns. Brendan Perlini wants 2-year extension at $2.5 million. I just do not feel he is worth that. I may change my mind. You guys may even change my mind in the comments leading into the next video. I'm not sold on him. I'm really not. I thought bringing him in, he would have more of an impact. And I mean, he definitely did. But I expect more out of him, if I'm being honest. But I mean, maybe we will get more out of him at an NHL level. So let me know in the comments below. Do we bring back Perlini on a 2-year extension? Do we only offer him a 1, kind of a tryout type deal? See if he'll take a little bit less money and see what he can truly offer at an NHL level. Let me know in the comments down below on Brendan Perlini. All right, folks, as you can see, our first playoff matchup for Project Ottawa is against the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is not going to be easy for us whatsoever. They have a lot of talent on this squad. I don't think I need to tell you who they have because the Leafs are probably the most talked about team in the NHL. They've got Mitch Marner, Nylander, Matthews, Tavares, Riley. Absolutely phenomenal lineup. But they are stacked and loaded on offense. They don't have anything on defense. Kind of at the same time, neither do we. But we can beat them. We can definitely beat them. Looking at the playoff tree, Toronto is definitely a beatable team. If we show up, play how we did during the season, we can beat them. It's a 7-game series. We have all 7 games to get the W on the series. We have beaten some very good teams throughout the season. with the group that we have, they play a team game. Everyone contributes point-wise, so I really believe that we have a shot at beating Toronto. Looking at the playoff tree, if we are to beat Toronto, we play the winners of Boston and New Jersey. Now, New Jersey has been playing unreal. They were absolutely phenomenal during the regular season. Will it transfer to the playoffs? No clue. Boston is very good in the playoffs, so they have a very tough matchup. And whichever team wins, if we are to win, we have another very tough matchup. So it's not an easy road for us at all in these first two rounds to get to the Eastern Conference Final. Looking at the other two matchups in the first round, it's Philly and Florida and Carolina and Pittsburgh. For our sakes, we need, honestly, probably Florida to win and Carolina to win, because if we get to the Eastern Conference Final, I don't want what happened last time to happen the last time Ottawa played Pittsburgh. That would bring back some nightmares for sure. So we definitely need Carolina to win, and we need Florida to win up there. And then I'm cool with playing either one, but we can definitely win this series against Toronto. I really believe in us to beat Toronto. And then the next series, if it does come, will be very difficult with either team we play. But I believe in us 110% to get the job done. Once again, thank you for tuning in for episode 2 of Project Ottawa. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I know I am. It's a lot of fun. Now, this series, well, the whole playoff run, I will most likely record Friday and then have it up Saturday. So expect episode 3, which will be the playoff run, this Saturday, which is the 28th. So definitely make sure to tune in for that. I will be posting it on all my medias, so definitely make sure to follow that. Like I said, link will be in the description. So yeah, once again, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Once again, hope you guys are enjoying the series. And please do not leave without leaving a like if you enjoyed. Drop a comment what you think so far. Let me know how you are enjoying the series so far. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.